Live from Studio Place in the heart of Brentwood Gardens in Los Angeles, California, it's The Michelle Show, starring Michelle Murad.
Welcome to The Michelle Show. I'm Michelle Murad. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, welcome to the show. We are live here outside of Studio Place in Brentwood Gardens, right outside of Los Angeles, California. Well, we're in Los Angeles, California. I'm Michelle Murad. If you're just tuning into the program, thank you so much. We are live on Amazon Live. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram. We're live on Twitch. We're live everything, everywhere, all at once. We're live on my personal Facebook. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to connect with you and see how your Friday is going. Today is Friday, September 15th, 2023. Can you believe it? It's almost Halloween, which means it's almost Christmas, which means it's almost New Year's Eve, and it's almost 2024. Speaking of, let's get into some hot topics, shall we? Oh, I've got a lot of things to talk about, and I have incredible guests today, but let's get into it. This is what's hot off the press. Drew Barrymore. We have been talking about this recently. Drew Barrymore has come out and said that she is going back. She is live. She is doing the show. Listen, I made this as like a statement to Drew. Whatever you do, don't come back. She didn't listen to me. She is coming back. She released a statement. It's everything everywhere. It's on The Hollywood Reporter. It's just all over. It's blasted. And she said that it's beyond her. My opinion is the Writers Guild strike is still happening. She's part of the union. I would not come back if I were her, but she didn't listen. And anyway, yes. I know that it's a giant show, but wait. Just wait. You'll come back at the right time. But she's coming back. Sherry Shepherd is coming back. All these major players are coming back. I am the content person on this show. Special shout out to Studio Place. Thank you, Studio Place. Hey, if you want your own podcast or talk show, they do that here, right in Los Angeles, California. Right here. It is Rosh Hashanah, I believe, today. I don't know what that means because I didn't Google it. But if you're Jewish and you're tuning in, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to connect with you and see how you're doing. I love this. This is from the Female Quotient. This is cool. Taylor Swift is the first female artist in history to reach 100 million monthly Spotify listeners. Wow. Look at how it started. Look at little Taylor. Look how cute that is. And look at where she is now. So you got to start somewhere. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to connect with you and see how you're doing. Speaking of how you doing, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? This is a new TikTok trend going around. A lot of people have asked their significant others, their boyfriends, male friends, of how often they think of the Roman Empire. Andy, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? And there's no response to that, so I'm guessing not at all. But this is going viral. It was on the Today Show. Thank you to our friends over at Screenshot THQ for sending us this video. Yes, I do not think about the Roman Empire at all. If you do, great. But that's a thing. Get out of that. This is super cute. From E.T. Canada, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend to reportedly renew vows at Lake Como 10 years after Italy wedding. I can't believe they've been together for so long. They're so adorable with 4 children. Congratulations. In Hollywood years, I think that's dog years. So that's 70 years. 70 years of marriage. Getting out of that. Apparently, Amy Winehouse's dad, Mitch, clears up misconceptions about her addictions, talks in a new book. Listen, September is Sober Awareness Month. We are very big here at the show to highlight and showcase people that are doing amazing things, and also to say that, like, hey, if you are struggling or going through something, know that you are not alone. Reach out, and there will be somebody to help you. This is really cool. I'm a big fan of Amy Winehouse myself. Getting out of that. My best friend would love this. Frasier is coming back. Frasier is coming back. Frasier trailer brings back Kelsey Grammer in sitcom revival. Kelsey Grammer appears to have slipped effortlessly back into his famed sitcom character Frasier Crane in Paramount's revival of the classic NBC series. The show also stars Nicholas Lyndhurst as Frasier's college buddy turned university professor, Alan Tokes, Ola Gundoye as Olivia, Alan's colleague and head of the university's psychology department, and many, many more. I know my best friend Wemi is excited about this because I said that she is like Frasier because she helps people. And let's get out of that. Yep, we talked about, I already brought this up. September 14th was National Sober Day. On September 14th, it encourages us to celebrate sober life and bring awareness to addiction. The entire day focuses on showing support for anyone living in sobriety. We continue that here on the 15th. Today is September 15th, which also meant it's iPhone release day. iPhone 15 is released today. Did you know this? iPhone 15 came out today that comes in different colors. Here are some of the colors you can get. Look at those beauties. I think I asked one of my friends, Ori Spado, which color he would go, and he said he already has the 14 and he's not thrilled. But I love the pink. I love the pink very much. Also, we heard recently that iPhone 12, too close, emits electromagnetic radiation, so be careful with these things. These are not meant to be right next to your head. Not meant to be next to your head. I repeat, not meant to be right next to your head. So we talked about the Roman Empire. We talked about Amy Winehouse. We talked about National Sober Day. Pull this up. We talked about this yesterday. The guy that's like legit like Spider-Man who climbed out of a prison. If you haven't seen that video footage, you should see it. The Pennsylvania murder convict who escaped prison has been caught, and he was caught by a dog named Yoda. And of course, police enforcement. But if you haven't seen this guy, this is what you have to see. This is August 31st, 2023. We reported on this the day it happened. Watch this guy go. He is legit the real Spider-Man. Look for it. Look, can you see it? You see? He just will climb up. He's going to climb up. Look at this. There he goes. Spuddy's looking around, making sure nobody's seeing it. And then there he goes. What? That is the real life Spider-Man. Anyway, he has been caught. He changed his appearance. He was caught the other day. Thank goodness. Scary, scary, scary stuff. But I'm glad that he is where he needs to be. I thought this was fun. This is from Facts Daily. Let's never forget Keanu Reeves rejected $1 million contracts with Marvel, but didn't turn down 2 requests to participate in the SpongeBob movie. I love him. He's great. He is a legend. Super, super talented. And if you like the SpongeBob movie, yeah, me too. We already talked about this. Blonde's doing big things. Beyonce hit 100 million monthly Spotify listeners, and she killed it the other day at the MTV VMAs. Beyonce is also killing it on her Renaissance tour. And Barbie continues to do amazing things. I love this. We're all about sustainability here at Studio Place and on the Michelle Show. This is from businessbulls.in. 2 friends create leather out of cactus, saving 1 billion animals killed for fashion. Look at this. Look at these guys. Look at that leather, how it's created. Wow. Look at that. That's amazing. Looks good. Looks really good. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Ooh, look how cute that bucket hat is. I love that. I love that bucket hat. Super cute. All right. So much is going. All these talk show hosts are under fire right now. Apparently, Oprah's under fire because she said that she was going to donate $10 million to Maui. Apparently, she's only donated 5. Leave the woman alone. She's donating money to people that are in need. She's created schools. If she says she's going to do it, she's going to do it. She's Oprah. Come on, leave the woman alone. Leave her alone. Getting out of that. This is cool. Dragon blood trees are some of the most unique trees. Have you ever seen this, Andy? This is wild. Take a look at this. Look at the dragon blood trees. Wow. Look at this. Where is this? This is brought to my friends over at Pubbity Earth, and you can follow them for more awesome pictures. This came out yesterday. Did not bring it up because we didn't have enough time, but apparently Sofia Vergara walked off the set of America's Got Talent. She had on a lie detector test, And Howie asked if there was anyone in the audience that she had feelings for because her and Joe have recently split. She then proceeded to take off the lie detector test and walk off the sets. I think it was planned. I don't think it was real. No, not real. Maybe. Who knows? That's Sofia Vergara. There she is with the lie detector test on. I think it was all for fun. I don't think there was anything going on here. All for fun. All for fun. We love fun. Speaking of fun, I'm gonna pull this up. This is great. USA Today is hiring a Taylor Swift reporter that only focuses on her. What? I think it's amazing. Listen, she also has, I forget what university is doing this. Do you know this university, Andy? They're doing like a study on Taylor Swift. She's the new Shakespeare is what they're saying. Go figure. Go figure, go figure, go figure. We're big on ingredients in your food and making sure you're eating healthy foods out there while you watch the Michelle Show. But if you're going to go all out, you might as well go all out without, hurting your budget or your wallets. Dairy Queen is giving out free burgers for National Cheeseburger Day, plus Blizzards are still 85 cents. I'll pay you the 85 cents not to eat it. That's so gross. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you do it, you get it for very inexpensive. This happens on Monday, September 18th. You too can partake in the Cheeseburger National Day. Who comes up with these days? We actually met somebody like in a line telling us that somebody comes up with the days. Today's Michelle Day. So if you're named Michelle, today's your day. Just kidding. It's not. This is brought to our friends over at ABC News. Geologists collect fresh lava. Look at this. Can you imagine if this is your job? It's a hot one. That's kind of scary too. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Getting out of that from ABC News. And then we talked about this, the new TikTok trend. My buddy Carson Daly says that he thinks about the Roman Empire quite often. I don't get it. Andy doesn't think about it. I'm excited to ask more guys that I know. Adam Freed, if you're watching, do you think about the Roman Empire often? This is going viral, so much so that everyone's tagging their videos Roman Empire. We jumped in on the trend and tagged it too. But if you're watching us live on Amazon Live, thanks for watching us on Amazon. You too can get this epic hat for $12. You can shop the show and get this hat. It's adorable and protects my skin from that beautiful light that makes me so bright. Getting out of that. Somebody said hi. Who says hi? Hello. Hello. What's that? Carol. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Carol. Thanks for following. You can watch us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow The Michelle Show, and you can connect with us and see all these fun things. I'm keeping you up to date with things that you need to know in the know. And then we'll get some of our favorite guests or favorite people on shortly. This is from our friends over at USA Today. Nearly 70% of Americans say the economy is getting worse. I can't even say the words. More trust Trump over Biden to fix it. But, this isn't politics. This is just me saying what is out in there. 84% of Americans said their cost of living is rising, and nearly half of Americans, 49%, blame food and grocery prices as the main driver. Where are they shopping? Are you shopping at Erewhon, which, if you watch one of our other shows, it's nowhere backwards. Did you know this? Erewhon is nowhere backwards. For months, President Joe Biden has touted Biden economics to frame an economic agenda centered to the middle class, yet only 34% of Americans said they approve of his handling of the economy, compared with 59% who disapprove, according to the poll. And we'll get out of that. Well, we just all need to make more money is the truth of the matter, and I agree with that. What else can I share with you? Some more stuff. The Writers Guild and the strike is still going on full force, but Barbie was in attendance, also known as Margot Robbie. Let me pull it up. Barbie was in attendance. There she is. Barbie looking adorable. Look at her. How cute is she? I mean, that's not her picketing, but that's Barbie. Barbie was there. Barbie was there on the front lines. We appreciate it. We appreciate you picketing and going out there. Let's see. What else can I share with you? Some more positive news. Some more good news. We talked about Taylor. We talked about Dairy Queen. We talked about the Today Show. Amy Schumer. We didn't get into this. Okay, so Amy Schumer, if you don't know, is under fire because of the way she was talking about Nicole Kidman. I'm a big believer. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. If you have something that's constructive that might help someone, DM them. It's not that. Just DM them. Don't blast someone and say something that's not so kind. Amy Schumer just came out today and she said, okay, so the joke she's making was about the way Nicole Kidman was posing. And she said that she seemed like that's not how a human sits. And she was not making fun of how she looks. Nicole Kidman is beautiful and one of the most incredible actors of all time. I agree with you. But again, it goes back to saying, like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. But I know comedians are under fire for this because we're in very, very sensitive times. Speaking of sensitive times, this is from ABC News. This is a guy jumping for joy. Look at this guy. Hanshin Tigers baseball team fan dives into the Dontobori River in celebration of the team's championship victory. Apparently, this is not a new thing, but look at this guy. Look how happy he is. My first concern is he okay? Is he all right? Like, did he get out of the river okay? Are we good? Are we good? But that's a very happy face. So happy all around. Get out of that. Oh, this is so sad, but I have to say about this. Zeus, world's tallest dog, 3 years old, just died. And this is from our friends over at People on Instagram. The Great Dane from Texas who held the Guinness World Records title died from pneumonia following a cancer diagnosis. No. Oh. I love dogs. They're angels with fur. It's so sad. What else? This is good news. ABC News. Florida police officer saves this man at a car wash. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So scary. Oh my gosh. Getting out of that. Oh, and then this is from our friends over at Entertainment Tonight. Jeannie Mae and Jeezy are calling it quits, unfortunately. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Jeezy made the decision to file for divorce from Jeannie, and the split comes more than 2 years after the pair had tied the knot. It just makes me sad. I don't like the norm. I've got my good friend Tracy Terrace that's here. Oh, who are you pointing at? Who? Oh, Jackson Calb. Oh, Jackson Calb. We love Jackson. Listen, if you're tuning in and you have the opportunity to come here to Brentwood Gardens, we are live here in Los Angeles. There are so many amazing restaurants. Special shout out to Gemma Damare. My buddy Jackson Calb owns it. He's incredible. He was on Top Chef, lost his sense of smell. Make sure you check it out. It's a restaurant you don't want to miss. It's all about good vibes and good food and great people. I had the opportunity. I go there often. Me and most of the team go up there often, which we love. A couple more hot topics, and we'll get to one of my special guests. This is from Entertainment Tonight. Caitlyn Jenner says Kim Kardashian calculated her rise to fame. You don't say. Is this really hot topics? Is this real news? Of course she did. That was planned. There was a video that came out when she was in eighth grade, and she said she was going to be famous. And I do believe that people know, and then they try to get to where they're going. I always had my own talk show in my basement, and here I am outside of Studio Place having my own talk show. If you too want your own talk show, you can have one here at Studio Place. They're incredible. They're the producers of this show. If you are interested in having your own podcast or talk show, they do that here. Also, very special shout out to my friends over at Blackwater. I am now today trying the Calabasas apple sparkling apple drink. It's delicious. It's great for your gut health. It's a great sparkling water drink, and there's no sugar added, which is really awesome. And it balances everything out in your gut. And they say gut health is mind and brain health, and also great skin. I'm going to take a sip of that before we move along. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I got the chat and want to connect with you and see how things are going. Last but definitely not least, beware. Beware of ingredients in Little Debbie. I'm going to say it again. Make sure you read the back of the box, people. There is so much stuff in here. There's corn syrup. There's Red 40. There's carrageenan. If you can't pronounce the things that are on the back of the box, please do yourself a favor and do not eat what's in that box. This is my friend, the Food Babe. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you absolutely should. She's incredible, and she's doing incredible things and educating people on what they should and shouldn't eat. I'm a big fan of my next guest. She is an author. She's a licensed marriage family therapist. She's a blogger. She's a speaker. She was on my show, Good Day Live. So if you're a fan from Good Day Live, you'll be excited to see Miss Tracy Terrace. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Michelle Show. I'm Michelle Murata. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, welcome to our show. We are live here in Brentwood Gardens in Los Angeles, California. We are live on Amazon Live. If you're watching there, we're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're everything, everywhere, all at once. I'm sitting next to the beautiful, the lovely, incredible licensed marriage family therapist. You're an author. You're a speaker. You're an angel in disguise. And Tracy Terrace, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michelle, for having me. It's such a nice time. It's such a nice pleasure to be here with you.
It's so nice to have you. I met Tracy on our show, Good Day Live, and I was just instantly drawn to you and everything that you had to say. And I know you also have a book, so tell our viewers that are watching the book and how they can get the book and all that great stuff.
Okay, well, the book is called Many Voices, One Truth, and it's available on Amazon. And in it, I help people with negative thoughts and all of the different voices that compete for your attention in your mind. And I take meditative and prayer practices and combine them with cognitive behavioral therapy practices to help readers learn how to tune down the voices that are negative and getting in the way of their life and their dreams, and tune in to the voice that is good for them and that will lead them in the right direction.
Now, I don't want to give anything away, but for those that are watching, is there anything we can give them how to tune down some of the voices?
Oh, absolutely. I use a lot of interventions that I use in my private practice with my clients. A lot of cognitive behavioral therapy type things, and cognitive just means your mind and your thoughts and how things operate. Behavioral means the behavior that you choose as a result of it. And then the therapy is what we do in session, but you don't need a therapist for it all the time. Like one of the things would be to identify thoughts, pay attention to how you feel, because there's nothing on the outside of you that can make you feel or do anything, but it's what you're thinking about. So identifying what it is you're thinking. Well, a lot of times people will first be aware of what they're feeling. So when you are aware of what you're feeling, if there's a tightness in your chest or a tightness in your stomach, one of the things that you can do is ask that tightness a question.
Ooh.
So you would say, why are you here? What is this? And so then the thought, even though we have the thought first and then the feeling, most of us are usually aware of the feeling. And we
Okay.
don't think about the thought. But if you ask questions, if you ask yourself or ask that feeling, why are you here? What do you
Right.
have for me? Then the thoughts that you were having either earlier in the day or in that moment will come up to you.
Wow, I
Yeah.
love that. So if I'm feeling nervous about going somewhere, I should ask, why do I feel nervous?
Yes, you should ask yourself, why do I feel nervous? And then
Wow.
something might come to you like, well, the last time I was in this situation, I was in a very uncomfortable predicament, or, whatever the case may be. And then you would present yourself with the truth. Well, this is
Wow.
a different situation. This is a different group of people. Or I've been in this situation 5 times and I've always had a great time. And you just remind yourself of what is the truth.
Wow.
And then it'll help you to calm down the feeling, and maybe instead of being afraid or nervous or anxious, you might be looking forward to it. You might feel happy about it. So it's definitely a lot of different skills that you can apply.
I love that, and I love. First of all, if you have the opportunity to work with you, it would be amazing. So if you guys are in the area, you're not too far away, right?
No, I'm not, but I also offer telehealth services. So we have
perfect.
clients all over California. I have a group practice. It's called, I can mention it?
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
It's called Healing the Mind and Spirit. And you can find us online. And we're a group of therapists. And I also have a therapy dog. Maybe I could bring Halen for the show one.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
But you could go online and just see all the bios of all of our therapists and what some of our specialties are. And then reach out to Emily. Do you remember Emily?
Yes,
Emily was
of
here last
course,
time.
of course.
And schedule an appointment, and you could come into the office, because our office is in Santa Cruz. And for those of you who don't know where Santa Cruz is, it's near Magic Mountain, Six
Yeah.
Flags, Magic Mountain. And so you can come inside, or we could do telehealth, which is
I love
online
that.
therapy.
I love that you offer telehealth. I think that's so important for so many people that are looking for a therapist that could help them, because it is not easy to find somebody that you vibe with so easily.
Yes,
So
yeah.
on the other side, it's like I was looking for people forever, and it was just like overwhelming. But it's really nice. That's why I'm having you on the show, because I love you and I think you're great.
Oh, thanks,
and
Michelle.
yes, of course. Thanks for being here. For people that are watching to be able to reach out to you. I don't remember if I asked this to you on Good Day Live, but did you know as a little as a kid, that this is what you wanted to do when you grew up?
Be a therapist? No, not at all. The reason I became a therapist was because therapy worked for me.
Wow.
I had some things from my childhood that I needed to process and talk through. It was getting in the way of me and my writing. I've always wanted to be a writer,
Got it.
but it was just getting in the way. And I went to therapy, and it worked. And so I felt like, oh my gosh, everybody needs this. So I just kept sending all my friends and family to the therapist that I went to. And then one day I was at work. I was working for a consulting firm, and the thought came to me, you need to be a therapist. And it
Wow.
was weird and out of the blue, but it resonated, like it felt right. So I called my husband and 3 of my closest friends and said, I just had this thought. And they each went, I can totally see you doing that, or
Wow.
I see that. Like they said some version of that.
Yeah.
And so I just applied to one graduate school thinking, well, if this is meant for me to do, I'm not going to apply all over the place. I'm just going to apply to this one place.
Yep.
And I got in and
Wow.
went through the program, and here we are.
And here we are. I love that. I love that you had that thought. Was it an aha moment, or was it just like a passing thought where you were just sitting at your desk? It was just like very calm thought.
No, I had turned on my computer
Uh-huh.
and I went to the kitchen to get my grits and coffee. I'm a Southern girl, so I eat grits for breakfast. So I went to the kitchen to get my grits and coffee, and as I was getting the creamer out of the refrigerator, the thought came to me. I remember I was bending over to get the creamer, and
Yeah.
that thought came out of nowhere, but like I said, it just felt right. It felt real, and it resonated.
Wow.
And so I pursued it.
So for those that are watching that might want to become a therapist, what is the process like? How long did it take for you? Like, is a lot of schooling? Tell me about it. Tell everyone about it.
Well, typically the process is you have to have a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be in psychology. In fact, a lot of schools like to have people who have a different bachelor's degree. Like my undergrad degree, my bachelor's degree was in journalism and broadcasting.
Look,
and
you're back in front of the camera. Well, you're in front of the camera a lot.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, I do a lot of social media stuff because, like, as an author, the publishing houses want you to have a presence online and things like that. But you have to have a bachelor's degree and then get a master's degree or a PsyD or a PhD, depending on how far you want to go.
Yeah.
But a master's usually takes like 2 years. I did mine in 4 years because I was a new mom and just kind of wanted to take my time through it. A PhD takes about 2 or 3 years, depending on how far you put your nose to the grind.
Yeah.
And then after that, in the state of California, you have to get like 3,000 hours
Wow.
of practice. So
Woo.
they just kind of have you under the leadership of another person with a license, and you see clients 3,000. It took me 3 years
Wow.
to do that. So for me, it was almost a 10-year process from the time of that grits and coffee moment,
The grits moment. I love that.
the grits and coffee moment, to getting my licensure, because it was, I think it was like 2003
Yeah.
when that came to me. I started school, no, it was 2012 when that came to me. I started school in 2003.
Yeah.
Finished 2007. It took 3 years to do the hours,
Wow.
and then a year to study for and take the licensing exam.
Wow.
And I was licensed in 2011. So that was like almost a 10-year process. It doesn't have to be that long for everyone. Like I said, I was a new mom. I had a baby and a junior high, a daughter in junior high. So I couldn't just
Yeah.
put my nose to the grind. It
Yeah.
kind of was a side gig for me. So that's why it took so long. But it doesn't take, it's the process is for regular people. It's probably about 4 years, maybe 5, because you do have to do that 2 years of grad
Right.
school, and then however long it takes you to do the 3,000 hours.
What's your favorite thing about being a therapist?
Seeing people go from A to B. Like when I see people that come in and let's say they're depressed and sad and can't move forward in life, and they might come in like this, kind of hunched over and sad, and they're leaving with their shoulders back and they're confident. And it might not be like in the first session. Sometimes it is,
Yeah.
because
Wow.
there's a dynamic that happens when the moment a person makes a therapy appointment, they start feeling better even before they come in.
Really?
And that's because pain is the brain's way of telling you that something's wrong. So when you schedule an appointment, and you've probably, noticed this with a doctor's appointment, a physical doctor's appointment, you get to the doctor's office and all of a sudden the pain is not there.
I didn't even realize that. That is a thing.
Yeah.
What? So wait. Okay. Say that one more time. Pain.
Yeah, pain is the body's way of telling you there's something wrong. So when you schedule that appointment, your brain goes, okay, so now we're going to get some help. I can stop making her have pain, right?
Wild.
And
What
the
is
same
that
thing.
called?
It's a neurological thing where when you are under stress, your brain will release cortisol. But if someone gives you a key or someone gives you hope, then your brain will release something like
Is it dopamine?
dopamine,
Yeah.
and sometimes like serotonin, and just one of the feel good chemicals.
Love the feel good chemicals.
Yeah. So when people are in session, sometimes the first session they do feel good because they're getting answers, they're getting
Yes.
insight, they're getting an understanding into who they are and what's been going on with them all this time. And so that's my favorite thing, is to see people go from point A to point B to point Z. Like it's always a journey.
I'm sure it must be so rewarding. One of the things my mom would say to me, if you don't feel good, help somebody else.
Yeah, because we're relational creatures. Like we were designed for a relationship, and so it's good for us to be in relationship with other people, and it's even better for us to help other people in whatever way that we can.
I love that, and I love that you interject spirituality in this too, because I feel like so many people are like wrapped up in like all the thoughts and like very like my day is like this, but if you interject the spirituality, I feel like things can breathe a little more. You can have a little more peace and patience. That's just personally for me.
Yeah.
The way I look at the world, because otherwise I would just be in my head too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're part of creation, and I think a lot of times people get the wrong idea about spirituality and make it all about rules and regulations, but it's like, everything you need is already inside of you. You have what you need. And if you could like quiet the mind and, spend some time in prayer, spend some time in meditation, spend some time reading things that are uplifting for your soul, then your psyche will be better as well. Like psychology is the study of the soul. It's not the study of human behavior and mental process. It is, but that's not the main study of it.
I didn't know that. So psychology is the study of the soul.
Yeah, if you Google it, you'll see study of relationships, mental processes, and behavior. But the original Greek, psyche, is soul. The original Greek is the study of the soul.
That I knew. Wow. Oh, no wonder why my mom was a psychologist. I love that. I love that
I remember you
much.
telling me that. Yeah.
She's an amazing psychologist. I think that's so cool. It's so funny because I used to, when I was a little girl, I used to sit in my mom's office because she worked out of the house, and I would line all the dolls up, and I would sit across and say, tell me what your problems are.
Yeah,
and
you're like my daughter.
Tell me what your problems are. And I remember telling my mom, I think I want to be a psychologist, and she goes, you'd have to listen more.
Yeah.
Talk less, listen more. And I was like, maybe I'll be into broadcasting and talking and try to listen more.
Well, my daughter, she does want to be a psychologist, but the first time I took her I brought her to my office after I had gotten my first office and decorated and stuff, and she sat in my chair and she looked at the couch at the pretend client, and she crossed her legs and she goes, "What is wrong with you?" Well, you can't see.
What's wrong with you?
You have to have a little bit more compassion than that.
Yes, I would hope so.
So she does. She's growing in it, and she wants to be a psychologist like her mama.
That's so cute. I love that so much. I have to ask, did you tell your therapist when you were going to do this?
I did. I even asked her for a reference to get into graduate school.
She gave you your reference?
She gave me my reference.
So cute.
Yeah. And then when I opened my private practice, I went to her for some mentoring on, how to start a business, what to do and what does that look like and things like that.
Well, what I love about your Instagram is that you're so generous with some of the videos where you're like, it's the mind, body.
Healing the mind and spirit.
Healing the mind and spirit on Instagram, which I love. I love watching those videos. They're so good.
Thank
I feel
you.
like they're talking to my soul.
Yeah.
So I want people that are watching to be able to connect and watch that too. So maybe we can tell them one more time what the Instagram handle is.
It's it's Healing the Mind and Spirit, and that's for my practice and anything mental health and therapy related. And then my other Instagram is Tracy Terrace. At Tracy Terrace, and that's about writing. And one of the generation that I'm actually trying to reach out to are millennials, zillennials, and the alphas, to try to get them in a different trajectory than what's going on right now.
Yeah, and what kind of trajectory would that be?
Where they understand things about themselves and relationships that are not taught in school. Like I'm not sure why school doesn't teach things like relationship dynamics and management of relationships. When I was in school, we had home ec, but women are not just cooking and cleaning and sewing clothes anymore. There's lots of different things. Like we're not taught how to have businesses and things like that. So I'd want to empower the next generation, not just women, but the males as well. Like, how do you live your life? And how do you create the life that you were meant to have and to create the life that you'd like to have?
Yes, how do we make that happen? I feel that is so crucial because all of us are so in like our own world at times, and especially like with social media, we're we're not connecting as much as we should be, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be great that we have that in schools for kids to
Oh,
learn
yeah.
how to follow their joy, and then also to interact with other people. We're missing that so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah.
Aw, Tracy, I adore you. I think you're so great. I'm so happy that you came on this show. We got a couple more minutes with you. Is there anything we can share with our viewing audience that we should share? What's next for Tracy?
Well, I'm working on some projects to
Okay.
help millennials, zillennials, and the alphas. And I included the alphas because my grandbaby, that's her generation.
Aw,
So I'm working
What's
on
your
some
grandbaby's
things.
name?
Her name is Autumn Evangeline.
Aw, hi. How old is Autumn?
She's 3. She just turned 3.
Oh my
so.
gosh, what a doll.
Yeah.
Aw, I love 3-year-olds. They're the best.
Yes, yes.
Aw.
Yeah, we love her. Yeah, it's there's nothing like being a grandma. Like, it's different from being a mom. Like, you
Yeah.
love your kids, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you have a different kind of love for
I'm
your
sure. You don't have to do as much work, right?
No, you don't. It's like pop in and pop out.
You can enjoy it. So you got your grandbaby who's 3. You said you're working on a couple projects. Are we allowed to know, or it's under wraps until it
Well,
comes out?
one of the books that I'm working on is helping people to not be so offended all the time. Like,
I need this. I need this in my orbit, Tracy. I need this. I'm always so offended. I'm
Yeah.
getting better.
good,
Getting better.
Well, we can talk.
We'll talk. We'll
But-
talk.
But yeah, like helping people to, set boundaries with themselves and the people in their lives.
Absolutely.
Like, just because someone says something to you or about you, you don't have to respond to it, especially if it's not true.
Right.
Like, if something's resonating on the inside of you, like if you feel offended, then check in and say, hey, is there something on the inside that I should take a look at, that I should deal with?
I love
And if
that.
there is, either deal with it or put it on the back burner for when you have the bandwidth to deal with it. And if there isn't, release it, because
Yeah.
everyone's opinion of you does not get to shape you unless you allow it to.
I love that. If it resonates within you, I feel like that's so true for me, because when somebody says something that jars me,
Yeah.
it's because I think there's something within me that I need healed. and
Yeah,
I need
a
to
lot
work
of times
on
it is. Yeah, a lot of times it is, but a lot of times it's not. It's just people making statements and maybe even trying to get your goat or push your buttons
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Aw, Tracy. Thank you so much for being on the show. Let's plug you one more time. Look right in there, that beautiful camera, and let people know how they can get in contact with you for maybe a telehealth session, or just to also get your book and all that. We're on Amazon, so they can buy your book right now.
Yeah, my book is Many Voices, One Truth, and it's available on Amazon. And if you want to get in touch with me for therapy, you can go to www.healingthemindandspirit.com, call our office, and our assistant will set you up with either me or one of the other therapists. We have a whole lot for you to choose from.
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, hello. You're wonderful. Your energy is so calming and so wonderful, and I just had the best time getting to meet you on Good Day Live, and now here on the new show, The Michelle Show. Tracy, have an excellent weekend. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And so much excitement. Make sure you check out her book. We'll be right back with my buddy Cash Hovey after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Michelle Show. I'm Michelle Murad. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, I'm sitting next to award-winning actor, producer, creator, incredible friend, Mr. Cash Hovey. Hey.
Michelle, thank you so much for having me. So good to be here on your new show. Oh my gosh,
Aw.
I'm here in Brentwood, like literally blocks away from where I grew up, and I'm hanging out with you. And it's
Aw.
Friday. Of all days, it's my favorite day of the week. Where else would I want to be?
I don't know. I'm so glad that you're here, though. We're going to talk about, I feel like, you know, you're also a host. You have your own show on air with Cash Hovey, right?
That's it, yeah.
And we've been talking about the writer's strike for how many days now? It's been going on for what, like 60 days? Or is it more
Oh,
than
yes.
that?
Well, the
150
writer's strike started in May,
May.
and then the actors, the SAG strike started in July.
Yes. Okay, so that's what's the 60 days. 60 days for SAG?
Something like, yeah.
I mean, okay, so listen, I'm a big fan of Drew Barrymore. I want to get your opinion on this. She's coming back on air. How do you feel?
Well, I understand. You know, I'm not knowledgeable as to every detail pertaining to the show. I understand. Look, I mean, I'm at the pickets
Yes.
weekly. I was just there this morning.
You were?
I was at Warner Brothers today, and I did the march on the Solidarity March the other day on. We went from Paramount to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
From Netflix to Paramount. And look, I mean, I think everything's on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know all the details
Right.
pertaining to Drew Barrymore's show. I mean, I've been a fan of hers my whole life,
Same.
and I mean, it's a tricky situation because
Right?
it's like, you know, people do want to get to work. I mean,
Of
the thing is
course.
there's a lot of jobs that. I mean, I was fortunate that I had two things that I was able to wrap before the strike started.
Uh-huh.
But right now, I mean, I'm talking to everyone, and everyone's like, hey, you know, I mean, I can get by for a little bit, but we need to just start getting back to work. We have bills to pay, and
Of course.
yeah.
I'm with you on that. I mean, listen, I do this show daily, and luckily I have this, but I get it. It's like a 300-person crew potentially, or I don't think it's that big, but like business-wise, if you have to let a couple people go versus like all these people that need, like they have families, but I get it because like I see both sides of the coin. I see like, hey, if you go live, you're gonna keep the strike still going because you're showing that you can get around it. Like, and that's hard for me because I am such a big fan of Drew Barrymore too. So I don't know. I'm so verklempt with this whole situation. I see all sides. I get it that streaming has changed. I get all of that. But like when you're on a show like Suits and it's been streamed for billions of hours, they should be getting residuals for this.
Oh, definitely. No, I mean, and all the details pertaining to the strike, because I mean, as you know, okay, broadcast, you know, it's when the original the strike of 1960. That's when, you know, because I mean, you had shows rerunning or movies rerunning on television, and that was to renegotiate so that the actors and the filmmakers are getting properly compensated.
Yes.
Now we fast forward. The last writer's strike we had was in 2007, and that was to really introduce this new medium, which was internet. And at the time, you were just buying movies on iTunes
Right.
or on Amazon. It didn't become what it became until House of Cards, and then you had shows like Breaking Bad,
Yes.
who had a life on broadcast, but then
Right.
people were like, oh my gosh, I can watch it multiple
Yes,
seasons.
on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Or was it on Netflix?
That was it was. I believe it was an I want to say it was an A&E or FX show. Don't quote me on that. But then it had a life on Netflix a few
Oh
years
wait, maybe
after.
was it AMC maybe?
You know, it was AMC. That's what it was. AMC. That was it.
Network. Yeah.
Stand corrected. But so as we move into this streaming era, which is where everything's going, because you know we all have apps. It's like there needs to make those changes, like what you said, you know, and people's attention spans. It's like, you know, they want to go. I mean, I like to go to the movies. I like to support filmmakers, but at
Me
the same
too.
time, there's a lot of content and a lot of stuff is made for television. I think what's happening, and it's happened a lot, not just in our industry, but in other industries, where there's you know, a certain small percentage at the very top that's
Yeah.
doing very well,
Right.
and you know, and a lot of mid-level, and what's happening in a lot of industries around the country, or just all over the world for that matter, you have a lot of mid-level jobs that are just slowly being taken out,
Yeah.
which, and especially like in the writer situation where, you know, you would have a staff, like on a standard show, you would have, back in the day, you would have, you know, a team of writers. They meet weekly. It was a 9 to 5 in longer in our industry, but now they just want to have one showrunner. They want everything delivered ahead of time.
It's crazy.
And so there's, you know, look, we need to spread the wealth, and and
Yes,
people have
absolutely.
families, they have mortgage payments, rent to pay, and so yeah, we all want to get back to work and have a fair resolution to this.
Absolutely. My big thing is, and you're like this too. you are a creator at your core, and I think a lot of us are, but not a lot of us. Like, I mean, I think a lot of us go really from gig to gig to gig. But I've been lucky enough to create my future by just doing my own thing. Do you think that's the wave of the future, to create your own thing and then be basically an entrepreneur, or do you think like it's still going to be with these mega studios? What do you think about that?
I think there's a balance. I do think. I mean, at the end of the day, you do. I mean, I do believe. Movies are still gonna. I mean, it's Friday.
Yes.
If you want to go to a movie, you want to see some great. You want to see Barbie. You want to see some great-looking people and a very entertaining story. I get it. Okay, you want the popcorn. It's of course. I enjoy the movie experience. I grew up going to the cinema, and I love it. I mean, there's no exactly, but I do feel like what you're saying with content creation. I mean, now, here's an example too, because I mean, even this is live show format, or then there's podcasting. Now, there's certain, and not to disparage anyone, but it's you have certain people who have tried to do the podcast thing who are more better for maybe shorter term,
Right.
Take commercial break, and there's because really, like, carrying a show on a podcast, you got to be on your toes, you got to be thinking about the next thing. It's like certain people have succeeded in mainstream, but then it's as podcasts are taking
Right.
over, and not to say you can't
both.
do both,
Right.
but I do see this growth because there's a lot of times and there's a lot of different shows where I'm really engaged in a certain host, and
Yeah.
I like their take on a specific issue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I love the movie experience so much so when they had the movie. What was it like? It wasn't AMC. It was. What's that like thing you could do for like $9 a month? It like ended up dying. What was it? Where you get the card, you go. It was. I think it was 2018.
2018. Okay.
Went to the movies like every single day. I would go to UCLA, and then I would go to the movies, and then I would work my nanny job. I took advantage of that card. What's the name of that card? Movie Pass. And there's something about going to the theater, because I'm not a big movie person at home. Like, I'll fall asleep on the couch. But like, there's something about being in the theater, having that experience, getting popcorn or not getting popcorn, and just seeing the whole experience with the lights and the sound and like the people. And for me, hope that never dies.
Oh, no, I don't think it will, because people want to go to concerts. I mean, you can watch anything on YouTube, but at the end of the day, it's like you want to go out, you want to be with your friends. I mean, and I made the most, I think, of the movies. I mean, we did Barbie, we did Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible. We wanted to go to the cinema, and they have very comfortable chairs. They have some great food.
Yeah.
And they've really made the, of course, because, especially during the pandemic, we all invested in big screen TVs,
Right.
and we brought the movie experience to our homes.
Right.
But we still want to get out. If I'm
Absolutely.
indoors too long, I mean, I'm like, I need to stretch, I need to walk around, I need to mix it up with people. So
I'm
yeah.
the same way. Like, but I definitely said recently. I think I said this to Kyle like a while ago. I was like, I think I'm an indoor person, and I was like, is that weird? He goes, no, it's not weird. I mean, like, it's just for me, like I like being outside for a certain amount of time, and then I'm like a hermit, and then I'm back inside.
Well, life's a balance,
Yeah, life is a balance. Okay, so what is next for Cash Hovey? Speaking of balance, I know you said you started at 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Talk about your day. What did you tell everyone what you did?
Yeah, okay, I got up at 3 and I just had one of those, I was just energized. So I got some emails, I got some stuff lined up, and then I hit the gym at 5, got my workout in, and then I had a couple calls I had to make this morning. Then I had a meeting about a potential project. Then for after the strike, and then I made it to Warner Brothers. I stood in solidarity with some of my colleagues. I had another call, and then so I got back maybe about 2 o'clock. So I'd already been going for like 10, 11 hours.
Oh
I got my power nap. Now I'm here with you, and I'm ready. It's Friday night. Let's rock and roll.
Friday night. Let's rock and roll. Wow. I have yet to pick it. What's that? Yeah. We're gonna show some of the stuff that you've done on my giant pink iPad, which is super fun. Let's take a look at Mr. Cash Hovey.
Here's some stunt training.
What are we doing here, Cash?
Okay, so I'm doing a backflip. This is my
Okay.
first backflip I've ever done. Boom.
gosh.
Now I'm getting the stunt going. Yeah, so this was walking through, getting the choreography down.
What movie was this for?
This was stunt training for there was a project we were getting ready to do. This was like a month or two before the pandemic.
Oh wow.
So
Those are cool pants.
Thank you. Those are my Guns N' Roses spandex pants. There we go.
Spandex pants.
Yeah. So I thought, I'd rock it out.
Super cool. Where is that?
So they actually just opened again. This was in
We should go.
We should. This is Wire Fighters.
Okay.
Now, this particular arena was at a gym in Simi Valley, but I believe they moved to Santa Clarita. So they got a new shout out to Wire Fighters.
Shout out to Wire Fighters.
They have a new facility, and I want to go check them out very soon.
Super
Yeah.
Cool. So how does it work when you do like a backflip? Is there somebody pulling on a pulley or like?
Oh yeah, the whole team behind there. I mean, that was so you warm up, you do the trampoline, do some somersaults and cartwheels,
Okay.
and then I was trying to do the front flip, and then I got caught in the wire, and they said do a backflip. I let it go, and this is my dear friend
We love Valerie.
Valerie. She's been on the show too. Shout out to Valerie.
Shout out to Valerie. We love Valerie.
And actually, we worked on something prior to before the strikes started, and from what I've told, it's. I can't wait to see what it is, but it was such a remarkable experience finally working with Valerie. I mean, she was actually, when I started, after being on the agency side for so long, coming back into acting, she was one of the first filmmaker friends that I had met. She had her movie Lola's Last Letter at the Dances with Films, and then so all these years later, we finally got this new project to work on. I can't wait to release it and promote.
I love that. I love that. Here's more
Yeah.
striking with friends.
Yeah, that's Cal and that's John from we all know from Harold and Kumar.
Yes,
Yeah,
super cool.
went to White Castle after that. Yeah,
Oh, did you really?
that was a good idea. And that's my good friend Logan Browning. She was on the hit show Hit the Floor with my other dear friend Kat
Nice.
Bayless.
Look at the sunglasses here.
Yeah.
Epic sunglasses. If you're striking, have you noticed the fashion with the striking?
Oh yeah, I've seen some
everyone-
different fads.
everyone's
Yeah,
looking pretty chic.
pretty chic. And and here's Adam
Oh,
Conover. He's-
I actually was on his show. What's it called? Adam Knows Everything?
Adam ruins everything. Yeah.
Adam ruins everything. I was on his show. I was a background person on his show.
No way. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we actually they used to get when I was at WME, we would get voice because I did a voiceover, so we would have I guess there were some animatronics or some cartoons, and we would submit for voices. And actually, no, I talked to him. I've been a fan of his work, and he actually has been on podcasts, really articulating what's happening with the strike.
I love that. I really appreciate other actors doing that.
And
then
you all know
who's
her.
this?
This is Justine Bateman from
that's Justine Bateman.
from Family Ties.
Oh,
She's a
wow.
remarkable director now too.
I
You
knew
g-
she was directing.
Oh yeah, no,
Wow.
I got to work. I met her through WME as well too. She was a
So
client of ours, and
cool.
so it was great to catch up with Justine. I was a admirer of her work my whole life, and
Yeah, I know she's incredible. What's going on here?
This is I know the volume's down, but yeah, this is me to TikTok to the I Am Ken from speaking of Barbie, the Barbie movie. Yes. So me and our other friend Samantha, we were had a day on the range, and we decided, hey, let's just do some TikToking.
I Am Ken. That's one of my favorite songs. It was on Billboard Top 100.
Yeah,
You know that?
it
It's
was.
super fun.
Oh, yeah.
What else can we talk about? What else is going on with Cash Hovey?
There is, let's see. Oh, there's another
Getty
strike.
Images. Oh, Albert Ortega. We
Al
love that
Ortega.
guy.
Yeah, I see him everywhere. I ran into him earlier. He's been covering all the pickets.
Yeah, I know. I saw his Instagram.
Definitely.
Tell me what's next for Cash Hovey.
Okay, well, I do believe you and I we're supposed to host something. I think in a couple
Yes.
months, depending. Yeah.
Yes, in a couple of months we'll be at the LA Live Film Festival. I still am gathering content, but I think I personally have a lot of content. How do you narrow down what to share?
I mean, there's actually something that I'm passionate about too. So I feel like this will be something. And again, this goes this festival. It's okay to be involved with this one,
Yes,
and where
yes.
there are and anyone who comes and supports. This is independent, and we're trying to, and Film Fest LA at LA Live. They've really been an innovative force to inspire other filmmakers
Yes.
and really get their work shown. So there's a lot of people that I believe in, such as yourself. I'm glad we
Aw.
got to. Have this moment, to be
Yes.
on your show, and we've worked together multiple times. But also, we can showcase some up and coming work for
Yes.
other artists who have that we believe in and collaborated with. So we're going to be in for a good show. They always throw a great event. It's at LA Live downtown, scheduled for November 18th.
Yes.
And like I said, we're obeying the everything that has to do with the strike. We don't want any conflicts. And if
No,
that
no
changes,
conflicts.
we will we'll definitely address it. But yeah, this has been a thing really to be involved with innovative filmmakers. And then I'm also going to be at the Burbank Film Festival on the
Oh.
24th.
So fun.
Yeah,
You get around.
I'm getting around. Yeah, no, there's a Jane Seymour movie that's I'm going to be hosting the Q&A, and then there's
So
a gala,
fun.
and there's a pretty epic director who's he grew up in Burbank. He's done a few things you might have heard about. I know some movie called Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, yeah, no,
something
I don't
else
know
called
anything
Batman.
like
but
that.
anyway,
Oh,
he's
Batman. Yeah, know.
Yeah,
I know nothing about Batman.
Sweeney, he works with some guy named Johnny Depp. I don't know if you heard of him.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Anyway, so it's going to be a really remarkable evening from what I've told, and
Cool.
it should be a great night. So yeah, that Burbank International Film Festival on November.
Wait, is that Tim
September.
Burton that's going to be there? Wait,
You said the
really?
name.
That's
Yeah,
so
Tim Burton's
cool.
coming. Oh yeah.
That's so cool. We should all go. That sounds awesome.
Come on down, Burbank International Film Festival on September 24th.
Wow, super cool. Cash Hovey, you're the greatest.
You're the greatest.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited for what's happening for you. I know like it's not the like easiest of times, but I always find that there's something good amongst everything, even though like it can be a little bit rough. There's always good coming out of it, and I'm glad that you're sitting and sharing this chair today with me. Tell our viewers how they can get in contact with you, how they can message you, how they can follow you, all that great stuff.
Well, okay, so this is me at Cash Hovey, Kashhov as in Victor EY. This is my Instagram handle. You can also catch me on TikTok, and my YouTube channel is On Air with Cash, and we have multiple interviews. I think we just crossed like 100 episodes earlier this
wow.
year.
Congrats.
Thank you. So and that's really just been a way for me to, because I mean just like this. I mean I love what you do and how we have that open dialogue. And this year we did we've switched it up a bit. We've been having some really in-depth conversations with other artists, and we've really been opening up and sharing our personal stories. And while there have been some obstacles going on in the world, I do feel like with every good or bad, any experience, there's something to be learned. There's something of value that you can take from it and move forward with. So with that said, there's been a lot of closure and a lot of moving forward this year, and I hope to continue that.
Love it. Move forward this year into 2024. I can't believe a couple more months more till that. It's always awesome having you. Mr. Cash Hovey, listen, we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend and stay weird, my friends. Bye.
Happy Friday. Thanks,
Happy
Michelle.
Friday. Thanks, Cash. Bye, guys.